Hey guys, welcome to the Middle of the Story podcast. My name is Hannah Grace Hall. I'm your host, per usual. Nothing new here. Yay! I am here with my entire family and our sweet and amazing producer and videographer, Jeff. It has been a party. I'm not gonna lie, this is our second take because we've had to turn on like 3 movies. Well, like second start over. We've taken like 78 million takes. So we're just like, we're running it from the top. But this is going to be a real life episode. Some kids may jump in. You may even hear Beauty and the Beast in the background. I don't know. May have to open a pouch. But I'm really excited to literally be in the middle of my story and living real life with you guys. My husband's here. We want to talk about several different things. We were sitting in the living room last night talking about like, what is the goal of our episode? And like, what do we really want to say? Because I think we've gotten really comfortable talking about like our story and God meeting us in the middle of that. But what are we literally in the middle of right now? And right now we're in the middle of marriage and parenthood and careers and calling and really navigating what it looks like to claim God's calling over your life and live it out is just so interesting to navigate, because having a kingdom mindset and really buying in and making your life or wanting your life to be of the gospel and serving the Lord in kingdom mindset, it can be lonely. And so, so pumped to have you here. I want to start off the first question being like, where is God meeting you in the middle right now? Your birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday.
Woo woo.
Starting another trip around the sun. Yeah. Is that the saying?
It sounded good to me.
Okay. Anyways, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. Science. Anyways, wow. I just rabbit trailed in my brain. But starting off your 31st year, where is God meeting you right now?
Yeah. Well, so, okay, the way you prompted that about being my birthday tomorrow, this has been the fastest year of my life, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like I turned 31 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And 30 was just so fast. It feels like a month ago that we were fishing on my birthday last year, you know?
Worst day of my life.
That's a you thing. Me and the kids had a blast. It like you feel it speeding up.
Yeah.
And there's times where it's like, oh my goodness, what do you do with this? You know? And I think that makes me want to be intentional about what we do. Like, I think we've always been really intentional with our kids. Like, people have always said, like, make sure you're really present. Like, it goes so fast. And I'm always like, we are pretty present, and it still goes really fast. You know?
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously, there's always room to do it better. But yeah, it's just. So I think the Lord meets me in that, and I've been working through, like, what does that mean? And, like, just the perspective of, oh, yeah, this is going to go quick, you know? And, like, at the same time, there also is a lot of time ahead of us. And how do we want to use it? What do we want to do with that? What does the Lord uniquely equipped us to do with that? How can we help people around us during those times? Like, those are the kind of questions I think I wrestle with right now, and, like, where I'm wrestling with the Lord. Yeah.
Where does he meet you in that? Like, what do you feel like he's saying to you?
Yeah. I think... where he meets me, how he meets me, I think he meets me through community. He meets me through the men's group from church. Yeah. He meets me in quiet time. He meets me in prayer and study of the Bible. He meets me in songs. Like, he meets me a lot of different places. Yeah. I think where he is leading me and ultimately what he's saying in this moment is, like, just taking the first step. Yeah. And, like, just, you know, I think... We were talking about this last night, like, my mind always goes to, well, 2 years from now. Yeah. And it's like, well, no, like, today, you know, should really be the start of that sentence. Right. And just what am I doing today to be obedient? What's the last thing he asked me to do? And, like, have I done that? Have I taken that step? And am I just walking with him? I think that's where he meets me in the middle of it.
That's awesome. I have the funniest notes in front of me, just, like, random things we said last night.
Probably makes sense though.
Does it?
Yeah, I don't know.
But oh man, we could go 7 million different directions. All right.
Where do you want to go?
Everywhere.
Well, where do you want to go right now?
My plane likes to go all the different directions.
Yeah.
So we're really like, okay, I started the podcast in August of last year. And that was kind of me being like, all right, I'm going to claim what I feel like God's calling me to do. And it's slow. We're not making that cash yet from it. You know what I mean? Like
might never.
Might never. Just literally like, submitting my, this could be so cool and this is what it could be to the Lord, and being like, this is whatever you want to build in me and change me for. This is what that's for.
Yeah.
So I've been on this journey for like almost 9 months, probably 10. I don't know how to count, but like a while. And now I feel like you're like, you love your job and it's going like, it's really going like well, like steady, your growth, like things are good.
Yeah.
And God has called you to more.
Yeah.
And we are navigating like, I'm laughing that I called it claim your calling, because I'm not being like name it and claim it like Christianity. I just mean like, I feel like God can call you to do something and you can be parallel to it. You can be perpendicular to it. You can hold it, but to really like claim that and say like, hey, this is what God has called me to be. Yeah. This is what I'm going to go be is heavy and a lot and uncomfortable. And so you are in that season of claiming like, hey, this is who God called me to be.
Yeah. Well, I think it's only uncomfortable from my earthly perspective.
Right.
Like even going back to your podcast, like it's not uncomfortable to say, the Lord asked me to have some of these conversations and record them, and I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable to say, I want to be an influencer or be famous, and I'm not, and it's taking so long.
Yeah.
Like, the discomfort actually comes from, like, what we put on it.
Totally.
Not from what the Lord's actually asked us to do.
Totally.
And
or what we think other people's, like, expectations of it. Because it's like,
sure, but,
if you say, like, hey, I have a podcast, and people are like, oh, only 5 people looked at it, and you're like, I don't know, maybe God, like, picked those 5 people to hear that conversation. Right. I don't know. You know, like we've heard crazy testimonies from
that's
the podcast. And so I think it's a both and. I think it's like what we want it to be in the natural, and sometimes like what we take on from other people. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but that's none of our business.
I know.
We were listening to that song on the way over here.
Sometimes I'm like, out of line and I make it my business.
Like what others think of us is none of our business.
I know.
You know?
I've grown a lot in that area.
You have. You've done great.
That's been a big one for me.
But I also think the other thing is like, it's like, sure, maybe claim is a good word for it, but it's more about like becoming what God has called you to become. Yeah. And I was actually studying this in those who have the Spirit, walk in step with the Spirit. And whatever your take on AI, like one thing that is so helpful there is understanding original language of the text. Like I'm not a scholar, I'm not a Greek scholar, I'm not a Hebrew scholar. It's like understanding like what do some of these things actually mean? What are some of the nuances maybe we miss? And one of the things that I was studying in there was like what that means is like the movement of the Spirit is already happening. Like that course is already set, and when we have the Spirit, we can walk. It's about aligning with what's already in motion. It's not us creating the motion. Yeah. It's not us continuing the motion. It's about just getting in step with what's already happening. Yeah. And one of the phrases of kind of how it was framed was, become what you are. Like, become what you already are in Christ. Yeah. And so it's not, so maybe it is claiming that. It's claiming, I already am the new creation. I already am set apart. I already am a child of God. Yeah. And I'm going to become that. And it's like this beautiful way of like how that all meshes together. Yeah. And
I do think for some people, like, I think we can like get really hype over that and get so excited and be like, guys, do you not like see? But sorry. I think some people practically are like, okay, but I'm just a mom or I'm just an accountant. Like I know my identity's in Jesus. I know I'm going to heaven. I know that I'm raising kids like kingdom minded. But I do think like part of this podcast and what we want to talk about is like there is a reality of like Sunday to Tuesday, like what does a Tuesday look like, when you're like, God, I think God's called me to be like a mom or an accountant and
a sales guy
and like, what does Tuesday feel like and look like? Because like Tuesday can just very easily be like a clock in, clock out.
Sure.
Or like, I made breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We did naps. We went to the playground, and now I'm wiped and in bed. And it's like, okay, what is it? You know, like, I feel like one of my favorite things to say is like, get up, dig deep, and keep going.
Okay.
And so, what does that look like? Like, how are we doing that?
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes it's like we get up, we don't dig very deep, and then we go to bed. You know, like, you know, there's a grace for like, we're working this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Well, two things. Like, one, there's a beauty in simplicity. Like, I think we put so much chaos on our lives that I don't think the Lord necessarily intended to be there.
Totally.
Like, I don't think Jesus never ran, you know, like you'll never see that in the Gospels. Like, he wasn't in a hurry. And even what you just described of like, wake up, go to work, be faithful in that, take care of the kids, go to bed. We have 2 pictures in our house that we call the perfect Wednesday. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's literally, it was the end of a day, exactly what you just described. And we were pulling back in our driveway, and I'm going to cry saying this. We were both like, we're never going to remember this day.
Yeah.
Like, this was just an ordinary, normal day.
Yeah.
That was beautiful and perfect.
Yeah.
Not perfect for us, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure kids cried that day.
Yeah.
But like, and we're not going to remember it.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have a billion of these days.
Yeah.
I'm ass wrong on that, but you know what I mean? Like, and we're like, we got to take a picture of this. Like, we don't want to forget this perfect Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like, this is what a Wednesday should be like.
Totally.
And I think there's so much beauty in the simplicity of that. 2, I also think like our capacity, I want to say this carefully. Our capacity expands over time. I want to give so much respect and grace to like what you're talking about. Like, I'm just a mom and like those things. I don't understand that feeling.
Right.
But I do understand, hey, I need to provide for my family today. We need to pay bills this month. We need to get our savings account going in the right direction. You know, like all of these things. And I want to do more than what I'm just doing in my vocation. Like, I do understand holding those 2 things.
Totally.
I think where I've been really fortunate is even in leaders I've had through work that may not even be believers, a lot of those men do other things outside of work, you know. Totally. And there is this, I do think culture is kind of going in the right direction of like, okay, you can do more than one thing. Obviously you need to honor your employer in that and all of that. Totally. And that's something, I know we said we want to talk about. It's like, I love my job. I like what I do. I get energy from what I do. There's really hard days. There's really hard months. I oftentimes come up, my emotions get too intertwined with what's going on at work and bring that into the home. That's not right. But I also, you know, worked 10 hours yesterday and loved every second of it.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
And like, that's fun to me. And so it's like, how does that play into all this too?
Yeah.
I maybe got a little off from your question, but those are all the things rattling around in my brain.
Well, I think we talk about our perfect Wednesday, and I think it's like really sweet. The pictures we do take of those perfect Wednesdays, we do remember those days because there's a picture of it and we talked about it. I think there's like so much beauty and simplicity, and like I heard Lisa Bevere say the other day, like doing everything in its season, and so, like how we get so quick to like get 2 seasons ahead, and we're not supposed to be in that season yet. But I think what I'm more talking about is like the kingdom mindedness. Like your kingdom mindedness may be like being a mom and being an accountant, and that's like those are your vocations, and that's great. But what is it like to your life be centered around what is God asking me to do? And if that is like, I don't account it like counting money. I'm kidding, sort of. But like, if that's it, then like, what gospel conversations are you having? Like, what is your family mission? And you know what I mean? Because everybody's is going to be different. Ours is different than, you know, our friends, the Normans. Ours is different than our family of origins. Like, everybody has their own mission. And like you said, first of all, our identity is like in Jesus. We are a son and daughter. We were knit together in our mother's womb for a plan and a purpose. And God has good things for us. All the scriptures. But also God has designed all of us to do something. To go and make disciples and baptize them in the name of the Holy Spirit. That's the Great Commission, you know? Yeah. So what are we, if we make our life about, I want to look like more like Jesus every day. At least I want to try to. I want to actually do the Great Commission. Like, I want to do what Jesus said. Like, I want to serve him. How are we doing that even on a perfect Wednesday? Like, our life may be wake up, make PB&Js, go to our prospective jobs, come home, make spaghetti, and go to a park and go to bed.
Yeah.
But, like, keeping our eyes on the cross and our commissions of what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Does that even make sense?
A few things in there. One, I think culture makes us selfish.
Yeah.
So, like, culture tells us to be selfish. So then we think about what's me and my role and all these things, and I want to do all the things myself. And the reality is we are a body, and there are multiple different parts, and we have different roles, and they all come together in a beautiful way. I think the other thing is when you think about purpose or mission, it's not necessarily like, oh, I heard the voice of God tell me to go do this specific thing, and that's what the rest of my life is devoted to.
Yeah.
I think it can be about, what needs do I see around me that I can help fill? I can't fill all the needs of what I see around me, but there are certain things I can help with.
Right.
And how have I been equipped by God to do that? What are things I've grown in that I can turn around and help somebody else with that's right behind me on that journey? I think that is more freeing and practical than to be like, oh, I have this like specific purpose that's like, just written on the wall, you know? I think it can be as simple as, what's the need of those around me that I can help with? And just start there.
Yeah. What needs are you seeing?
Yeah. I think there's a few things. One, obviously, based on our story, it's like men struggling with porn in the church, specifically, is like, hey, like, why is this still so prevalent? And like, how do we get plugged in there in a way that actually helps other guys? I think two, the other one I've seen, which is probably an extension of some themes there, is like just the role of men and their families in general. And this is something that's like obviously been talked about so much, but I think sometimes we take it for granted, because like I've gone down those rabbit holes of like male development and doing all these things. But it's like, okay, when we go to Amelia's t-ball game and there's like dads that like won't help and play catch with their kid, it's like, okay, what is that? Or that like, maybe we've been with their kids six weeks in a row and never even said hi, and it's like what is that? So I think there's like things within the church, there's things more broadly. I think the one that I'm super fascinated with right now is like youth sports, and seeing like, I feel like we had this swing where like everyone got a trophy, everyone got a participation medal, and then it went back to like ultra competitive, winning is everything, your stats and all these things that pop up around youth sports. And it's like, well, how do we accept like, competition's actually really good. It's good to go do that. And your identity can't be in the result. It needs to be bigger than that. And that like, that's not everything. And like, how do you hold that? How are we developing kids? Like, what are we telling them is actually important? And it feels a little weird to talk about it because like Amelia's 4, she's our oldest. But it's like, we've done t-ball, we've done soccer, we've done gymnastics, done dance, and you kind of see where all this goes, you know? And we have friends that have kids that are older, and we look at where this goes.
That we knew their kid when they were in 5th grade, and now he's graduating. And we're like, what? You just spent the last however many years on a ball field or in a gym or whatever for every Saturday. And we both played competitive sports. So there is some understanding of, maybe not as parents, but like as people in community and who've experienced it ourselves, we do have some understanding of the sports world.
And I think, so for me, like where that plays out practically is I think like, what's the culture we're building in youth sports? Like, what is the culture that we're creating there? What are we saying is important? What is Amelia going to grow up thinking is important about sports? Because she's going to be involved. Same for Shep. Same for whatever kids are next. God willing. Like, that is going to become so important. Hey, buddy, where'd you get a sucker?
I gave it to him.
Oh, okay. I found it under the couch or something.
Come here, Bob. Come here, babe. Come here. I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think a lot about that. And so I think there's things that could be like fun to build, like, youth sporting events where kids where kids come out and compete and do the 40-yard dash and cone drills and their jump drills and all these things, and they can see where they rank. They can see what they're doing good in. They can see where they can where they can improve over time. But more importantly, they're accepted and celebrated, and fun is had, and they're told that their identity is something bigger than this game we're playing, you know? And they're like, yeah, this game is important, but it's not the most important.
Right.
And having a place that teaches that.
Yeah. So you just you just said, so now I'm going to ask, and you can repeat it. So what are you doing now?
What we're calling Palestra Youth Sports. And so the Palestra was in Greece. It was the like gymnasium auditorium where kids specifically would come and train and compete against each other.
Right.
And it was just like this idea of like, this is the place where you show up and you compete against others. You figure out where you stand. And so what we're doing that is having our first big event June 13th in Brentwood, Civitan Field, where we'll be doing, 40-yard dash, cone drills, jump drills, strength drills, and just understanding and letting kids get a score. It's like, hey, across this algorithm, across these 5 or 6 key tests, here's how you scored, here's what your score is, here's your rank relative to the age group, here's where you're doing great, here's where you could improve, and let's measure this over time. Like, let's be honest about where we can get better, and let's focus on improving that. Yeah. And then let's come back and do it again in 3 months and celebrate the improvement, you know? So it'll be really fun. The picture is just like an epic event that's fun for kids, where we can come out, you can compete, you can train, you can meet other people, be celebrated, and go from there.
Yeah. And I think one of our goals is like of our family, but that we want kids and athletes to understand is like, if you're going to win well, you got to lose well. And like, it's okay if you're not in first place or third place or fifth, you may be in 20th place, but like there is always room to grow, and there's always going to be someone better than you and always going to be someone worse than you. Yeah. And like, how can God meet you in that and in your growth journey? Because that never goes away. Yeah. Like the things that kids and youth will learn in sports and at Palestra is like, these lessons don't stop. Yeah. And that's why you and I are so passionate about sports and like love kids in some type of sports, in some kind of team building and achieving mission, is those life lessons have worked for us like as adults. Yeah. Like go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. We both have taken really competitive career paths. Right. Like you literally own your own business. I literally do enterprise sales. Totally. We like competitive outcome-based things. Right. And I hate to lose. I am the guy that always wants to be in first place, always wants to be at the top of the leaderboard. Totally. It does get me down when I come in second. Yeah. And it's like, even about silly things. And, totally. And honestly, Amelia is the same way. That kid hates to lose. Don't I know? And I love it. Yeah. And I'm like, how do we steward this the right way? Totally. How do we teach her she's not always going to win? Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, Lord, like I'm convicted because I'm the same way. Yes.
And I'm the same way. I do like transparently, like, I love to like trash talk and like, I love to be a teammate. Like I'm a ride or die kind of girl. Like if we're in it, we're in it. Yeah. And I think something I can say about our life and our marriage is just me as a person, like I do lay it all out. Like I lay it all out on the court, the field, like in relationships. Like I do feel like I'm a person that gives it my all. And like, so I love that about our kid and specifically about sports. And, but I've taken an L, like I try to take adversity and things where I'm like, even like working out and, getting the in-body scan back in December and like having a good cry over it and being like, this is terrible. I hate this. Like, I can't believe I've let myself get to this point. Totally. And then getting like having my little pity party, having a cry sesh, feeling bad for myself. And then, the last 5 months being like, all right, let's get after it. Yeah. And like, had a great scan today. Yeah. Totally different. Yeah. Like, I love like the grind and, I love a state championship win. You know, I love an NCAA championship, even if it's not any of our teams. But I love the season that leads up to it too. And I think that is what we want families and the next generation and our kids and their kids to understand is like, this is a long game. And life is going to be seasons. You're going to have some really awesome winning seasons. Yeah. But man, are you going to eat some humble pie in some seasons. And that's okay. And I love, you know, you and I have talked about this. I've talked about this on the podcast. I love that the Duke women's coach this past season said, you're either in a mountaintop season, you're in a season in adversity, or you're in a season about to walk into like one of those. It's kind of a cycle.
Yeah.
And that is so true. And I want families and young people to be like, all right, you got to take each season as it is.
Yeah.
And this is not the ultimate identity is that you are God's child and he loves you and he died for you.
Yeah.
All right, let's get after it. Let's get up. Let's dig deep. Let's keep going. And you don't have to pick your sport by 7 years old.
Yeah.
You know, that's stupid. Any professional athlete is like this idea. Yeah. I know you love, what is it, Michael Jordan?
Yeah, you knew. Yeah. You knew what I was going to say. Yeah, okay, great.
We are married. Yeah. We are one. But I know you love that quote. I'm going to let you quote it in just a second. But like, this is ridiculous that we're having kids like pick baseball as their sport at 7, and now their shoulders are blown out. Yeah. Sophomore, junior year of high school.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, say what Michael Jordan said.
Well, no, I think it's hard though, because like everyone knows this isn't healthy. This isn't right.
Totally.
And it's like, but it's also the thing everybody's doing.
Right.
So I feel like my kid's going to be behind if I don't do it.
Totally.
So it's like, where's the space to say, actually, that's not healthy, and there's this alternative where you can take a balanced approach and you can do it differently, and your kid's not going to fall behind.
Right.
You know, and there's actually a guy, you know Greg Olson? Anyway, he's a retired football guy, but he's blown up recently for coaching his kid's football team. And he has a podcast called Youth Sports. It's really good. He talks a lot about this of like, yes, there are things sports will help your kid with, especially academically, get into colleges maybe you wouldn't otherwise, and like keep it in its right place.
Yeah.
Like there is value in it, but like don't start thinking your 8-year-old's going to be in NBA. You know, like that's not the right mentality to be on. And also we glamorize stories like Tiger Woods of like people who like that was the path, or I think was it Venus and Serena Williams, like that movie came out about like from a young age they were molded to do that. So then it's like, you know, maybe we glamorize that a little and like, oh, maybe I should do that for my kid. And it's like maybe that's not the right lesson to take from those stories.
Well, I think we want our kids to believe that they can do anything that they put their mind to. And I think some of that does come from like a really good place of like, hey babe, if you want to do it, you got to believe that you can.
Yeah. But ultimately, like, kind of what we started this with is like, but your identity can't be only that.
Totally.
Because look at Tiger Woods recently. Like, he clearly battles things in his personal life.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know much about the Williams sisters, but like, if achievement and accomplishment in that sport is all of your identity, there's going to be a day when it's not there anymore. Even if you are Tom Brady and you play professional elite level into your 40s. Even if one day you're going to retire, you know.
Caitlin Clark, she sat out the whole last season. She's the number 1 WNBA player or shooter. I don't want to offend anybody, but like,
there's going to be a day where that is gone.
Yeah.
There just
is. You can't shoot half court shots forever in a game. I mean, you can forever, but not get paid to do it. Anyways, I think that's awesome. I mean. I just like literally, I know this is like so elementary, but I think about like the story we grew up hearing of like, are you going to build your house on the rock or the sand? And at the end of the day, like we want the next generation to have their homes, the heart of their homes and their souls built on the rock. But we also want them to get after it and like do well and grow and grind.
Run your race with endurance.
Yes. Do hard things like, because you can. And you're called to, and you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. He will guide you. He will give you a peace that surpasses all understanding. And it's just such a blessing to get to be a part of competition. It's such a blessing to be a part of a team. And I'm so excited. Selfishly, I am so excited for this, for like what God's put on your heart, because it's something we are passionate about as a family. So I think rounding it all out, I want you to say, like, I want to be able to pull a clip transparently of like you saying this, what is Palestra Sports?
Yeah. Palestra Sports is athletic testing events where we tell kids where they stand, where they can improve, all while teaching them that sports is not their identity. So that's what it's about. Yeah. It's about, here's where you're at, here's where you can get better, here's where you're doing great, and your identity isn't something bigger than the outcome here.
Yeah. And eventually this is actually all you, this has nothing to do with me. My duty in this next part is to literally just like love and serve and support you. But definitely heavy on your heart, and what is coming next after that is an avenue for dads.
Yeah.
To get strong.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, like the vision for this, we want to host epic testing events where kids are seen and celebrated. And then we also want to say, hey dads, like if this message resonates with you and you don't know how to carry that into your home life, we want to help with that. Yeah. And we want to provide resources. We want to create a culture where identity is bigger than the outcome of whatever you participate in.
Totally.
Where you're not afraid to be honest because that's how you get better, which we've experienced in all sorts of ways.
Totally.
And this is a place where you can admit, hey, I don't know how to do this, and we can help.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where it's like, you know, there's kind of like end game picture of ultimately we want this to be a movement that teaches kids you are more than what you do. Families, dads, you are more than what you do.
Yeah.
Like there's a message bigger than all of this, and here's how we can help come alongside and support that and shape that.
Yeah.
And it starts with, let's host a fun event on June 13th and see if we can get some kids to come out and have a good time.
Yeah. And eventually we want our goal to be that there is an app that you can open, Palestra Sports, and you can see where your kid is ranking in your area, whether that's Middle Tennessee or the Hill Country in Texas. You know?
Yeah, I think the vision is what. Well, you said this is not my thing, and it said here's what it is.
No, my thing is not the dads and the men.
You're talking about Palestra. I got you.
I'm in Palestra.
Yeah, I think yes, I do think it's that. I think it's nationally, like, how do you recognize talent at a top level? And like, yes, like where is my kid relative to all these things? I absolutely think that's powerful. Yeah. Sorry, keep going.
Okay.
Just thought it was funny.
He thinks I'm not a part of Palestra. I will definitely be in it because we want girls to come. We don't want this to just be a guy's thing. Like this is, you know, it was really interesting for me. I moved here in the middle of my junior year of high school, and where I played basketball in Texas, I was like, okay, pretty good. And then I moved here, got rocked because this was such a more elite area of play, and I was moving up in I'm literally holding a passy. I was moving up in competition and competitiveness, and it was just really shocking to have to go through that. And so I think what we want girls and guys to be able to see where they rank nationally, where they rank in their state, and then also where they rank in their zip code, because that's going to be a different pool than if you look all over the map or if you look in the SEC or wherever. So eventually we want to have a Palestra app. We want you and your kids to be able to see, where do I rank and where can I improve, and how's my state doing? How's our zip code doing? What does it look like across the board? And we want to have a space where when you come to an event, you come to be serious and compete, but you also come to get a popsicle and get to meet us face to face and us say, you are so much more than your sport. Like your soul outweighs your sport infinity and beyond. And we see you and we want you to be known. And then Adam will take on like the whole dad thing and men thing. That's literally none of my business. But we feel so excited about what this journey is going to look like. I am so proud of you and so excited for you and us, because
you're in it.
We're in it together. And I feel like we are literally in the middle of this story, and I just like want to talk about it on the pod because I want to be authentic and like live real life with people and say like, hey, like this is what it looks like for us to like claim what we feel like God's called us to do. Like take it on as our own, as our responsibility, and say, here we are.
Yeah.
Like we want y'all to come on the journey with us. We may be here in 6 months and be like, okay, Palestra looks a little different than what we thought.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will do that. Yeah.
Because it never actually goes exactly as planned. But we're just excited to share it and be for real and just say like, this is what we're going through.
Yeah. June 13th, Civitan Fields in Brentwood. We're going to have some fun. We're going to take it serious. It'll be good.
Yeah. And we're growing. So if you have any feedback or if there are parents of competitive youth sport athletes, whether you're, you know, getting ready to be a college athlete, like you're in high school and that's on your radar, or you're in 8U baseball and...
Well, yeah, I think ultimately where this goes, this is the ACT for athletes is what we want this to be. Yeah. That's the big vision for it.
Yeah.
That's obviously not where it starts, but that's where it's going.
Yeah.
You know, where it starts is broken down by age and gender. Here's where you're at. Here's where you rank relative to your group. Here's where you can get better. And then we'll connect to local resources in the community that can help with that. There's speed coaches. There's strength training coaches, sport-specific coaches. Both playing high school sports here. Like we've got a good community there.
We've got a good network.
So it's how do we help kids get better where they want to get better and where they can and have fun along the way.
Yes. And remember that our impact on parents, one of the things we want to impact on parents is competition is awesome.
Yeah.
We've definitely yelled at some state championships and things, but these are kids.
Yeah.
And like, we're not going to make fun of other kids. No, we're not going to like degrade, something that we've seen in, the stands is not friendly parents or parents that will make fun of like the other team's kids. And I've literally looked at each other and been like,
what are we doing?
Are they talking about a 15-year-old girl right now?
Yeah.
Or are they talking about like an 18-year-old boy? Like these are still kids.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, we may need to edit this and like put it back in where we were talking about culture and stuff. But like part of the culture we do want to impact is like also parents, like these are kids.
Yeah.
And we are encouraging and we want your kid to compete with another kid. But that doesn't mean you get to degrade another kid or be an unfriendly parent.
Yeah.
When you walk up into the stands and you're cheering for a team, like we're going to be kind to everybody. And like, I love to trash talk, but like they're kids.
Yeah.
First and foremost, exclamation point, and everything in its rightful place. And like, how do we come from a place of like character when we're competing?
Yeah.
Character over competition.
Yeah. I mean, look, sports should be fun. Competition is good. Improvement requires honesty. And so it's how do you have fun and compete? It's because your identity is in something other than the outcome.
Yeah.
It's okay to be honest about the outcome, get better, and you're more than that.
Totally. Let's do it.
Great.
Anything else?
Love you.
Love you.
This is fun. I was thinking back to the other episodes we've done. There was an episode I had like super long hair. I was like, oh man, that didn't look good. And then I was growing a beard last time I was out here.
Hated it.
Didn't work.
Hated it.
Never came in.
This is probably my favorite haircut.
Now I'm like short hair, summer. Just
summer.
Different guy every time. Am I the same husband? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah,
well.
No.
But no.
But yes.
But yes. I love you. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have questions on Palestra Sports, you should give them a follow on Instagram and join us June 13th at the Civitan Field in Brentwood. And let's get after it. We're going to get up. We're going to dig deep. We're going to keep going.
That's right.